Hi everyone, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is August 19th, 2021, and I'm doing an update. Uranus, which is the planet of chaos and brilliance and ingenuity, as well as sudden shocks and surprises and sudden rapid change. Station retrograde today at 14 degrees and 47 minutes of the fixed earth sign of Taurus. And we felt that build up 5 days before, and we will feel it 5 days after. And it is very intense. Uranus can raise your anxiety and your nervous energy. And many people have told me that they're having trouble focusing and getting things done. They feel like they just cannot pay attention, or they feel very scattered. Some have had sudden news, or they've given me sudden news. And obviously, on the world stage, there have been very big events. Unfortunately, there was a big earthquake in Haiti. We had the announcement of our out of Afghanistan in the United States, and there was a thwarted bomb attempt today at the White House. And those are all very Uranian type events. Uranus can bring explosions and earthquakes, and it can sometimes involve violence or accidents, and it's a planet of surprise. So obviously it can bring shocking news and disruption. Sometimes, and for certain people, I've heard some good things happen out of the blue, job offers or positive moves. But with Uranus, whatever you think it is, it can be something else. And just knowing that stationed less from the world point, because anything at 15 degrees of the fixed signs is at the world point. And the fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius, and we are in the new age of Aquarius. So very Uranian energy that we've been dealing with all month, because Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and abundance and is the grand benefic, how we magnetize good fortune, how we learn, how we teach, how we promote ourselves. Jupiter re-entered Aquarius on July 28th, and at that point 29 degrees of Aquarius. Now it's at 27, but it re-entered the fixed air sign of Aquarius, where it will be until December 29th of this year. And in that, we can all reassess how we can expand through building community and connections, upgrading our technical skills. I can benefit from that. I need to do so. We all need to peace with technology and make friends with it, even though that can also raise your anxiety and stress. And we are in a time that is more technological than ever, and it can feel very alienating, and it can feel stressful, and again, a lot of notifications and digital messages, Zoom, etc. It can be overwhelming. And so we assess how we can connect, how we rebuild in this very difficult time in history, how we find our groups and people with whom we resonate and really truly connect, and knowing also that this is expanding the Uranian energy, because earlier this month the Sun and Mercury and Venus all squared Uranus, bringing more hectic, fast-paced type of energy. And for me, I will admit that I started doing the monthly horoscopes for the month of September, and unfortunately I've already done 4 videos that were approximately about 15 minutes each for the first 4 signs. I kept saying Uranus stationed direct in the month of August, even though I know it's retrograde, and I may have to redo those videos also, because again, this is such a hectic energy where a lot of people have not been sleeping well. I can count myself among those people. I may also have to qualify in the video, maybe put a disclaimer that I accidentally said retrograde instead, direct instead of retrograde, because realistically, a lot of us are at this high pace, erratic energy, and I don't want to be unprofessional, and I want it to be right, but I memorize when I do the monthly horoscopes. I like to memorize all of the dates and often the times that the aspects occur, so that I can then spin it in my own take for each sign. And I want my voice to be authentic, even if there are sometimes mistakes, which inevitably there usually are at least one or two. And I hope you guys, if I do that, that you can be permissive this time, and just understand this is a lot to take for all of us. And I'm sure many of you are spinning and feeling charged up and feel like you drank a bunch of coffee, or whatever it is that gets you going, and that it's overwhelming. Uranus is a planet of genius and ingenuity, and tapping into that as well, because it really it's the higher octave of Mercury, which is the planet of communication and learning and thoughts and ideas, and Uranus brings it to a whole other level, but it can really be out there too. And so we're in the new age of Aquarius, which has Saturn is the ancient ruler and Uranus is the modern ruler, and I associate more of the modern Uranian energy with Aquarius. And most of the Aquarians I've known, probably 95% of the Aquarians, are Uranian, brilliant, and eccentric. Some are more Saturnian and cold, and nothing wrong with the Saturn energy. I love Saturn, but generally I think of them as more zany and individual and brilliant. And so we have a full moon coming up on August 22nd, and that is the second full moon in Aquarius. We had a full moon at the very end of July that was at, I believe, the first degree of Aquarius. I'm again scattered, but that was defaulting back to when Saturn was at the early degrees of Aquarius from March 23rd of last year until July 1st. And now we have a second full moon in Aquarius. It's not technically in the same month, but it is the second full moon in the same sign, which does not happen very often. I don't know if I would say it's a blue moon, because I think they are supposed to occur in the same month, but we can say that it is. It certainly is significant. And again, the moon is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So we've got the ruler of Aquarius stationing retrograde, not direct, today, and we've seen all sorts of crazy world news, and in our own lives, whether we're feeling like we're spinning, or maybe some of you are really tapping into the brilliance, and I hope you are getting a lot accomplished, or networking, or some of you maybe had some very startling news of some sort, or surprises, or twists and turns, and that is very Uranian energy. So the full moon occurs on August 22nd at 8:02 a.m. Eastern Time, and it occurs at 29 degrees of the fixed air sign of Aquarius, and this defaults back to when Jupiter re-entered Aquarius on July 28th, and Jupiter will be conjunct this full moon because it's only within 2 degrees. And I cast the chart for Washington, D.C., and the ascendant is Virgo rising. So Mercury rules the chart, and Mercury and Mars are conjunct. They're not exactly conjunct, but they are conjunct in the mutable Earth sign of Virgo, which is Mercury is in its dignity in Virgo, and very analytical, and it's an excellent placement. And this full moon is the sun is at the royal fixed star known as Regulus. It's at 29 degrees of Leo. So this is a very powerful full moon. I think it's a positive one in that, again, it's conjunct the grand benefic, the luckiest planet. It could expand the Uranian energy. I think Jupiter definitely magnifies whatever it comes into contact with, and with Uranus energy so strong, that's even a bigger deal, I think, than the full moon, really, because it's in the station. It will be retrograde for several months, and it stations direct on January 18th at 10 degrees of Taurus, and then it will clear the shadow where it retrograded today on May 5th next year. So, you know, Uranus will be retrograde for several months, and all of the planets are retrograde for several months. So I don't think it's as perceptible when, you know, we're several months into it, unless the planet makes aspects in the sky. But when a planet stations direct or retrograde, that is a big deal. Uranus is the maverick planet. It's very wacky and unstable, and again, brilliant, but, you know, disruptive energy. And finding a way to ground yourself, Virgo rising, Mercury, you know, learning, communicating, journaling, doing whatever you can. The moon conjunct Jupiter, trying to tap into faith and optimism and something to believe in to get you through this, trying to tap into the brilliance. And that day, Mars trines Uranus at 2:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's a very innovative energy, more Uranian energy at play, but in a very positive aspect. That's a flow of energy. And Mars is how we take action, and Uranus would bring innovative solutions to get things done. And so the full moon's occurring. Neptune opposes both Mercury and Mars, not at an exact degree, but there can be confusion with that. Maybe it's getting lifted because Uranus is the great awakener. Again, a lot of news these next few days, and already has occurred for people and will continue. A lot of heavy, strong, electric energy. Uranus rules electricity. And an analogy I give many people is if they're having a Uranus transit, or if in this case we all are feeling it in a collective, it's like trying to fall asleep with all the lights on in the house. And you may change your plans. I was going to do more of the batch videos tonight, and that changed, but I will do it before the end of the month. And also I may even try to do those 4 videos again, because I'm crazy. But if I don't, I hope you guys forgive me and understand that I'm putting my all into this, and this has been really the last couple of weeks I've been getting hit by just feeling all of this Uranian energy this month. And I knew when I did the horoscopes for August that all of us would be feeling this very unpredictable, erratic, and disruption that we have been feeling. So I wish you all a lot of luck. The full moon, I think, shows promise through communication and through tapping into optimism and using the brilliance of Mars trining Uranus. Mercury trines Uranus tomorrow, and that's a very innovative energy that occurs on August 20th, and that can bring magical thinking. And let's see what else. The Sun enters Virgo also on August 22nd, later in the day, and it will be there until September 22nd, when the equinox occurs. And so we will now be in Virgo season as of Sunday. So I hope you have a good full moon. Purge and release what you need to release. Charge your crystals if you have access to an outdoor area, a garden or a patio where you can get your crystals out. If you get moonlight in that area, the moon shines there, then do that. Or you can wash them in salt. You can there's so many things you can do. You can burn sage or Palo Santo and cleanse them that way. And working with your crystals and manifest with the moon conjunct Jupiter. And for some, there will be completion and letting go of this. And again, a lot of change right now with Uranus stationing retrograde. So take care, and thank you very much.